So I have some good news and some bad news. The bad news is really bad, but it isn't really news. You're all gonna die. And everyone you love is gonna die. Not news, but bad. The good news is that this has been true of every human being that has ever lived. So we have been dealing with life and death for hundreds of thousands of years. And that means we know how to do it. What you may not feel that you know how to do is what first responders call death notification. That means, how do you tell someone that someone they love is dead? And the chances are good that you will need to do this one day if you haven't already. So I am going to teach you how to do it. You should know that I have been on both sides of this transaction. I was widowed in 1996, so I was told of the sudden death of my husband. And I have been performing death notification and teaching death notification as the chaplain to the Maine Warden Service for 15 years. So let's say someone's dead. We'll call him Pepsi. Pepsi is dead. And it's your job, because you're a friend or a sibling or an adult child, it's your child to tell Cola that Pepsi is dead. If you don't want to do this, don't feel bad. You're not a coward, you're just human. No one wants to do it. But this is information that Pepsi needs to have that Cola needs to have because she loves Pepsi. And she needs to now move from loving Pepsi in life to loving Pepsi in memory. And she can't do that without the piece of information that you're going to give her. So the first thing you need is a few pieces of information. Ideally, the first one is, how did Pepsi die? The second one is, where is Pepsi's body? And the third is, how can you get Cola to where Pepsi is? So you want to have a plan for moving Cola to where Pepsi is. That can be your car full of gas, it can be a taxi, it can be a police officer willing to give you a ride. You need a plan to do that. Now you need to take a deep breath and calm your body. Ideally, Cola is in a place that is safe, reasonably, private, reasonably, and comfortable, reasonably. Let's say you're in Cola's house. Go into the house and you give her the news. You want to use the simplest possible sentence. I'm really sorry. There's been an accident. Pepsi is dead. You have to use the word dead. Pepsi didn't make it. Pepsi's gone. Pepsi passed over. Pepsi passed on. Those won't work. They will just confuse Cola. And remember, she needs to have this piece of information, and she has the right to hear it clearly. So, Pepsi is dead. What's Cola likely to do then? Cola will do exactly what Cola needs to do. She knows what she needs to do, so trust her. The most common reaction is that the mourner will go down. Their legs give way out from under them, and they go down. And for this reason, first responders are often trained to make sure that the grieving person is in a chair or on a couch or something. I don't really worry about that. I'm fine with Cola going down to the floor because you can't fall off. And there's lots of room, and you can roll around, and you can do whatever it is you need to do. So Cola's going to do that. What are you going to do? Go down with her, okay? Like this. And your job is just to be there. If you touch her, the touch is not to restrain her. It's not to hold her in place. It's just to let her know you're there. You're not going to pat her into silence. You're going to keep your body calm, and you're just letting her know with your touch that you're there. The same goes with your voice. She may vocalize, and that may be wailing or crying. It may also be words like no. That's very common, no. You don't have to convince her. This is not a conversation. If you say anything, variations on the theme of I'm really sorry, I'm sorry, are plenty. Because all you're doing is letting her know with the sound of your voice she's not alone. This phase, which I call the impact phase, seldom lasts longer than 20 minutes. I don't know why. It will feel longer, so remember to keep breathing. You'll know when it's over when Cola lifts her head in what I think of as the first of a number of small resurrections. She will lift her head, she will make eye contact with you, and she will ask a sensible, rational, practical question with a sensible, rational, practical answer. And the question is almost always, where is he? Where is Pepsi's body? And because you have that piece of information, you will tell her. If you don't know, say, I don't know, and I will help you find out. If you do know, tell her he's still at the hospital. He's on his way to the funeral home. He's still at the scene of the accident. And if she doesn't ask to be taken to him, if she doesn't say, I want to go to him, ask her, when do you want to see him? She may not know that she has the choice, so give it to her. When do you want to see him? Most of the time, and I would say 90% of the time, in my experience, the answer is right away, as soon as possible. So you're going to make that happen. It is natural and normal and deeply human to want to see the body of the one we love. If you don't believe me, you can look in a 2,000-year-old book. If you're staying in a hotel, there'll be one in the bedside table. Look up in the Gospels. The women, Mary, the other women, go to Jesus' tomb to do what? To see him and to anoint him, to touch him. Okay? Mary and the other women, they didn't have to overcome the protective skepticism of the disciples. They didn't have to persuade the first century equivalent of a funeral director that they could handle this. They just did it because we've been doing this for hundreds of thousands of years. So when you bring Cola to where Pepsi is, and you ask her permission to accompany her. In fact, ask her permission for as much as you can. Can I help you with your coat? Can I help you find your shoes? Why are you asking permission? Because she is an agent. This is a moment of agency. This is a moment when she becomes the subject of a story and not its victim. And that's important because this is a story that she is going to be living out for the rest of her life. Mourning doesn't stop. It just keeps telling itself. And it's important that she be empowered and encouraged to be the agent in that story. So ask her permission to accompany her to see Pepsi's body. If she wants to go alone, that's fine. She can do it. Trust her. What will she do when she sees the body? Exactly what she needs to do. She'll probably wail, cry, talk to him, pray for him. She might give him a gift. Rosaries are common. And she'll probably symbolically groom him, like fix his hair or something. This is her opportunity to take care of the one she loves, to nurture him. When she's done, you'll know it. Again, it very seldom takes longer than 20 minutes. I don't know why. When she's done, you'll know it. She'll tell you. There's no rush. And then you can go with her into the next chapter. Fear demands that we shield ourselves. Love asks us to face life and death with courage and with honesty. So if it falls to you to be the bearer of bad news, take a deep breath, calm your body, have faith in your human self. You can do this bravely and lovingly. You can. Thank you.